How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What's up, Will?
What's up?
Another
We're
week.
sponsored by Nike?
The Story of the Fight. Not yet, dude. One day.
Yeah.
One day. But welcome, everybody. This is Story of the Fight, where we talk everything, MMA, right? And some random stuff here and there.
Apparently bare knuckle boxing, combat sports, maybe just combat sports.
Everything. Yeah, that'd be a good way to say it. Yeah. But if anybody likes any of our content, please follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you know whenever we go live. If you want to go ahead and comment while we're live, a lot of times we go ahead and just let you join in on the chat. You know what I mean? But you can find us on Spotify, Breaker Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. Social media, Will.
Yeah, we're at Story of the Fight on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok now as well. I think
I posted one video on TikTok.
Yeah, and it's of you.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to start somewhere, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're here with one video.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're here Sundays, 9 a.m. Pacific for the live recap of the event that happened last night. So that's where we are today.
9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern, and then Central European time is I don't know. I don't know. But last night, what do we have? We had UFC Vegas 48, Hill versus Walker. Probably not the biggest main event we would have thought of after Fiziev pulled out and Rafael dos Anjos.
Yeah, I mean, this was the co-main, right? Which is like a perfect co-main. They had to bump it to the main event. What, 2 weeks out? They get bumped to a 5-round fight. It's got to be kind of crazy. But
yeah, which I know Johnny Walker was really excited about being bumped to the main event. Didn't quite work out. Did
it for someone.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it then.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the main event. We had Jamahal Sweet Dreams Hill versus Johnny Walker. So Johnny Walker's entrance to the octagon still has to
Classic,
be
man.
One of the best entrances. And then I put myself in the Cutman's shoes.
They're putting Vaseline on him.
And he's like stripper dancing in front of him. I'm like, how awkward must that be?
On him.
How awkward would that be?
They're like, bro, I'm just trying to put Vaseline on you. And he's just like fucking grinding on him.
It's so funny.
Not gonna lie though, the music was killer, man. That's not my type of music at all, but I was feeling it.
Yeah,
it's a great.
Okay, so when they first announced Jamahal Hill versus Johnny Walker, I thought we got ourselves a fucking fight here.
Yeah,
both these guys are so much fun to watch. Now, Johnny Walker on a bit of a decline recently. And Jamahal Hill lost to, was it Paul Craig?
He lost to Paul Craig, but outside of that has been solid. Electric.
Yes. Yes, to say the least.
Yeah.
Jamahal Electric Hill. No, I like
his hands. He's one of those guys where his hands are like magnets, man. Like he's so accurate at light heavyweight and he's so quick. Because you could tell when they started, I was like, dude, Johnny Walker is massive compared to Hill. He's
huge.
He looks like another weight class. Hill looks like he can make middleweight, maybe. Probably not, but compared to Walker, he looks like a different weight class. And the difference is because I'm not saying Walker's slow at all, because his fast twitch is crazy. He throws the kicks. He doesn't telegraph them. It's lightning fast. He's back. But
he's
Hill,
just an athletic dude, man.
Walker, but Hill is like slick. Like he's smooth the way he throws his combos and stuff, that they're so fast and accurate. But yeah, I mean, Walker was doing a pretty good job at the beginning of kind of staying on the outside and picking them apart, with the body kicks, the high kicks.
Mm-hmm.
Hill kind of had trouble getting in, it seemed like. But then everything changed.
Well, something that I noticed with there's the picture right there of him getting knocked out, which we'll talk about that in a second. But the thing with Johnny Walker is he was throwing some feints, right? And what I noticed, if you go back and watch it, there's a few times where he throws like a lazy jab with the right straight, like almost like as a feint. Like he's not putting too much behind it, but just to give Jamahal Hill some different looks. And Jamahal Hill, that's exactly what Jamahal Hill timed on that last right hook that he hit him with. It was a lazy combo, and he gets clocked right on the temple, man.
Dude,
and he's not out by any means after that right hook, but his body shut down.
Yeah, it was it was weird because the way he like kind of fell forward, and then you could see it like come up from his feet and shoot up his body, and he just like sprang back. But and I thought like, oh, he's out cold. But then you see his arm as he's falling back reach back for the fence.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, knockout.
So he was conscious.
Crazy, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know how conscious he was. Yeah, semi-conscious. But you
Yeah.
see him, like you said, try to break his fall. His eyes are still open.
And then he breaks it with his neck.
With that giant right. Boom.
Yeah.
And then he goes out.
Yeah, and then he's out. Man, it's crazy that I think I posted the clip of it on the Instagram and captioned it "Live by the highlight, die by the highlight" because man, Johnny Walker, he started his career.
Hey, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. You know?
But he starts his career 3-0 at the UFC with 3 first-round knockouts. Like he has that crazy elbow against Khalil Roundtree, the spinning hook to back fist against Ledet, and then the flying knee against Serkinov, and it was like, oh, we're off to the races here.
We got something here.
Yeah, but then he gets knocked out by Corey Anderson. He loses a decision to Nikita Krylov. He knocks out Ryan Spann, but he got rocked pretty hard in that one too.
Yep.
And then since then, the loss to Santos, the loss to Hill now. And it's like, damn, man, he started off with 3-0, and now he's 1-4 since then. That's tough, man.
Yeah, man, it's really tough. He was somebody that a lot of people were excited about. You know what? Who was it against after he did was it Serkinov? Where he did the worm and his shoulder got dislocated.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't been the same since, man. And I'm not saying it's all because of the shoulder.
Yeah, I think that's a coincidence though, because you look at what also was happening. He was also trying to find a new gym, right? I think he went to TriStar. Now he's at SBG, and John Kavanagh seems like a great guy, but really outside of Connor.
This is exactly what I was going to say right now, because I don't know if you saw Johnny Walker's post on Instagram.
The video,
he was like, yes, like the side of his head's bleeding. In the background, you have Kavanagh eating pizza, holding a proper 12.
He's holding it up to the video.
Holding it up, and I'm like, what are you doing, Kavanagh?
Yeah, dude just got knocked out in the first round. I don't know. I mean, who knows? He might just be trying to lift the spirits, right? And they might have been joking around before the video. It's not a good look, that's for sure.
You know, his girlfriend's all sad. You know, you could tell that she's really bummed out, worried about him. He's holding her. The background, you have Kavanagh like, hey, check out this pizza and proper 12.
Got me famous?
You know, and it was just like, I saw that. And that's the first thing I thought. It's not a good look, man.
It's not a good look. And I think that's more to blame for what's been going on with Walker since. And also, don't forget that Walker, he's always been kind of a glass cannon. Even before he got to the UFC, the way he took his losses. How many did he have? He had a couple losses. What was the one where he got knocked out like 5 times in one fight? Like, that's not great for your chin. And all his wins, he never even really got the chin tested, you know? Yeah. But now we've seen, like, the Corey Anderson one-shot KO. This one was pretty much a one-shot KO. The follow-up shots sealed the deal, but they were going to call it regardless the way he fell.
Oh, 100%.
And the Ryan Spann fight, he got cracked in that one too and got rocked. So I think it was a matter of time, right, as he starts gaining into the higher rankings and fights some more skilled strikers. But it's tough to see, man, because he's so exciting and he's such a character. The way he slips on the steps every time he goes up to get to the weigh-ins, and everyone's like, "Oh, is he injured?" And it's like, dude, he does this every single time. He sells it so like he's hilarious, dude.
So do you give him like a Kutalaba next?
Fuck, dude, no. That's him getting knocked out.
Crute?
Maybe Crute. They tried to do that fight before already. And it got canceled. And I think Crute he just had surgery on his knee or something, so he's out for like a year or something like that. I don't know, man. I don't know if he stays. He might have to fight someone unranked. I don't know. He shouldn't be. Where was he in this one?
He was 10th.
Yeah, fight someone unranked.
Jamahal Hill was 12. I mean, if he falls back to 12 or 13, you fight somebody unranked, and I guess that's the fight for the unranked person to see if they could break into
Exactly.
the top 15.
I think that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I know
'cause you gotta
Sansan
break,
was saying give him Dominic Reyes, but I don't think I like that fight for Reyes. I think Reyes wins that fight, but I don't think that Walker necessarily has earned a fight against Dominic
I
Reyes.
agree with you. That'd be a good bounce back fight for Reyes. You know how we're saying,
Yeah.
give Walker somebody a little bit easier to bounce back. That's kind of like what we'd be doing for Reyes if we give Reyes
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Walker, So,
But for Hill, in my opinion, it's off to the races, man. He has proven time and time again that he is elite. He is elite.
Absolutely. And so he lost to Paul Craig, who is ranked 11 right now. So
Who also
Jamahal
has a win
Hill-
over Ankalaev.
So does Jamahal Hill leap Craig now? Does Craig move up to 10? Jamahal Hill to 11? I'm wondering what's going to happen here.
Probably. I don't know if you go Jamahal Hill versus Nikita Krylov. Maybe Thiago Santos or Anthony Smith. I think those are probably the two fights that I would, if I'm Hill, I'm gunning for. I'm gunning for like leapfrogging at this point because Johnny Walker's a name, man, and they bumped this to a main event and he had a sensational knockout. If I'm Jamahal Hill, I'm like, look what I just did, right? I mean that knockout is crazy. That's going to be in every single Jamahal Hill fight. They're showing that before his fight.
I was thinking about that too last night. So this is going to be a highlight reel knockout. And then I watched the knockout over and over again. And it's like, well, it's a right hook to the temple. The punch itself wasn't that crazy. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like a Joaquin Buckley kick or
the reaction to it.
Yidri Prohaska spinning back elbow.
Spinning back elbow, yeah.
But the reaction's what made it all.
Yeah,
I've never seen anybody fall like that before to a KO. Have you?
He went down, and like I said, it looked like the knockout had energy in his feet that shot up his body, and you could see it like flow up, and he flew back. It's crazy.
You sent that GIF.
The inflatable arm.
The ones that are just.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's what it was like, dude.
That's pretty close.
And what's funny is I should have bet on this because I went to Ross earlier yesterday, and as we're walking to Ross. We passed like a Sleep World or whatever with mattresses.
Mahashev there? Mahashev?
No. Not San Jose. But we're walking past like a Sleep World or like mattress firm or whatever the hell it is, and it's like it just opened and it had some of those, and they're like flopping around like in our face and shit, and we're like trying to like walk through it. And it's like fuck off. But like as soon as this happened, it was like Final Destination, you know, when they like see the death earlier and then it happens. Should have bet on it, but
dude.
Yeah, crazy fight, man.
Yeah. I mean, and outside of that, there's not much else to cover.
How about his arm? Do you think it's broken?
Whose? Oh,
Jamahal
dude,
Hill.
yeah. How swollen it is?
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes.
That's how hard Johnny Walker kicks.
Have an issue with his arm in his last couple fights, huh?
Yeah, dude. Even when he wins.
Yeah, and I mean, Felder asked him about his arm, right? And he's like, man, I just got to take care of what I got to take care of. Then I want to get right back in there.
Yeah, so we'll see, right? What happens? I haven't heard anything, but I doubt it's broken. But that could be like a fracture or something, you know?
Could be, for sure.
All right, that's what Felder talks about a lot. Is like, dude, you don't want to. I mean, it's better than eating it straight to the dome, but it's still not great blocking high kicks.
Yeah, it doesn't look fun.
I don't want to do it.
Before that, we had Pickett versus Daukaus. So Kyle Daukaus, Jamie Pickett
bumped to the co-main.
Bumped to the co-main. We had Daukaus coming in at 10-2. Good prospect.
I really like Daukaus. I like both of them.
Brothers. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, both Daukaus brothers. Yeah.
That his fight against Brendan Allen, I think, was the first time I saw him fight. And he lost that fight, but like, dude, he showed his heart. Like, that's one of the things we see, right? That's what we always look for. We always talk about it in a prospect is like, how do they deal with adversity and stuff? And that was a punishing fight, and he stuck with it and tried to grit through it. And since then, I've been a fan of his. He did not need it this one.
No, and the thing that I really liked about Daukaus in this one too was just his timing on the takedowns.
Yeah.
Pickett would come in with some big shots or trying to throw some big shots, and he'd time it perfectly to go right underneath it and get some solid takedowns.
It reminded me
to think about.
Yeah, it reminded me of GSP always talks about like how there's 3 different types of takedowns, right? There's a proactive one where you set it up with punches and you shoot. Then there's a reactive one. And the reactive one is you set the trap. You throw, you start retreating, you know he's coming in and he's going to throw back, and then as he comes in, that's when you duck under. It's a reactive one. And he baited him into that takedown and just shot straight through him. It was perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, man, if you can make me think of GSP, then you're doing something right. I'm not going to say he's GSP level, but like.
And then the patience that he showed working the Darce, you know, working it in slowly. Now, one of the first things I thought about was like, man, I wonder if Pickett's corner was yelling at him, like telling him, like, dude, like 5 seconds, 3 seconds. Doesn't matter. But yeah, Dom Cruz actually did a really good job last night.
Dude, the commentary team was fantastic. I know we shit on me especially shit on the commentary team every week, but no complaint. It was so good.
Yeah. I felt like Dom Cruz did a really good job, and he did a really good job explaining it afterwards. He's like, man, when you're in the middle of a choke, like sometimes you can't hear.
Yeah.
You know, and no matter what they're yelling at you, sometimes you can't hear it.
It bums me out that Pickett had to come out and explain himself in this, which makes me think that people are shitting on him because if you didn't watch it, right, it's 4 minutes and 59 seconds of the first round. There's literally one set. He taps and the bell goes off. It's almost like he triggered the bell. That's how quick it was, or how late it was. But it makes me think that people are talking shit to him on like social media and stuff and be like, dude, there was 1 more second. Just hold on. Like some people go to sleep. Why are you tapping to a choke? Did you hear what he said?
What did he say?
Remember Jim Miller when he got that guillotine and who was it against where his tongue was in between his teeth sticking out of his mouth?
Oh, I don't remember. I know which one you're talking about though.
Yeah, but that's what happened. Jamie, you can't see it, but his tongue was out of his mouth in between his mouth guard and the bottom row of his teeth. And he said he felt like he was about to bite through it, so he had to tap. It's like, I don't care if there's half a second left. You tap. You don't risk biting your fucking tongue off.
Oh my God.
So all respect to Jamie Pickett. I mean,
oh yeah,
submissions should never be thought of as anything other than you got bested. But the fact that he has to come out and explain himself for why he tapped is fucking crazy.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, dude, man, could you imagine you're in a Darce choke?
Dude, I would have let myself go out.
Yeah, I would have bit through my fucking tongue. I leave it all out in there. Like, come on, dude. All respect to both of them, man.
Yeah,
and like you said,
it was a good fight.
And Dominic Cruz did such a good job last night. And I know both of us are so quick to criticize him on commentary.
Dude, I'll be the first one to say I always, I'm not the biggest Cruz fan. I'm not, dude, but he did a really good job.
I don't know if the UFC is listening to like fans who complain about commentators constantly talking about the scorecards in the fights, but there was a moment, I don't remember which fight it was, but Felder was like, and how do you guys have this going into the third? And Dominic Cruz was like, nobody cares about your scorecard, Paul. And like, they just disregarded it. And I was like, thank you. Because ultimately it doesn't matter. I'd rather than just talk about the fight, right?
It creates more controversy in the long run. You know, because you have these fighters that are talking about the scorecards halfway through the fight. So you're like, yeah, makes sense. Definitely up 2-0. And then they end up losing 2-1. You're like, what? So
I also would just like them to be present during the fight and not talking about that because we're missing stuff that's happening in the fight, You know
what? Let's put Sal D'Amato right there in the commentary booth too.
Yeah.
Let's
so he can explain himself.
Yeah. All right. You want to move on?
Yeah, I'm glad Pickett is a tough loss coming off on short notice, so hopefully people don't grind him too bad about it. But Daukaus, this was big for him, I think, because the Kevin Holland fight was kind of a weird setback almost, even though he technically won. But was it a no contest or did he get the win off that?
I think it was a no contest.
Okay, as it should have been. Yeah, no contest. But that's got to feel weird in your career, right? You get something like that over a big name like Kevin Holland, and then you're kind of like, well, shit. It's kind of bittersweet, right? And this is probably big for him.
Yeah, good for Daukaus, man. All right, before that we had Parker Porter versus Alan Baudot.
The most heavyweight fight of all time, or what?
The most heavyweight fight of all time. Dude, Porter came out swinging and banging, though.
Yeah, until he got cracked by the uppercut.
Until he got cracked. And then you could tell that he had a lot more respect for Baudot after that. But, he did a pretty good job closing the distance.
Dude, his work rate is seriously impressive.
Dude, that's what I was going to say. The nonstop pressure coming in from Porter the entire time. Although, at the end, I did notice that Porter started feeling a little bit more, started slowing down a little bit. But for dude his size to put it on as much pressure as he did the first couple rounds was pretty damn impressive.
And that's kind of what he does all the time. He's a cardio machine. And like I said, you look at him, and most people probably don't expect that, right? That's not the first thing they think of. Is like, oh, this guy's probably his best attribute is his cardio. But then here he is just outworking dudes at heavyweight. I mean, it was textbook Porter. I mean, I thought he lost that first round. But he lost the first round on the scorecards, but he won the first round in terms of he made the adjustment that was going to set the course for the rest of the fight. So he took the loss in the first round, but that change in the pressure and switching from, because you could tell at first he's like, I'm going to walk this dude down and pressure him with my strikes. That didn't work so well. Mm-hmm. So he adjusted, made it much more clinch heavy, try to get the takedowns, outwork him in the grappling, tire him out. And that's ultimately what led to the win. So great job by Porter making that adjustment.
Yeah, and there's a couple of shots by Baudot too. Baudot. Yeah. Where Porter has him clinched up against the cage, and Baudot had some nice short hooks, and there's this one knee to the forehead of Porter, which made Porter back up a little bit. So there were some good exchanges. I would have loved to see Baudot, and honestly, I don't know enough about Baudot to say like, hey, his ground game's decent, or it's good, or it's better than Porter's. But he ended up in some really good positions.
Yeah, he did.
On top of Porter, and he wanted nothing to do with ground game.
Yeah, no.
I mean, not to say that Porter wasn't trying to stand up, but like you could tell that he didn't mind letting it go back up to his feet.
Because I think he was having so much success with his hands. So he was like, all right, yeah, come back up here. I'm feeling it. You get in that flow state. You just want to go right back to it, because he couldn't miss. Every time Porter was coming in with his hooks, he was just lighting him up with the jab and the uppercut. So much so that in the third round, when it's 1-1, I thought it was clearly 1-1 going into the third. So much so that he's out there showboating and stuff because he's not getting hit. And Porter, like you said, was gassed. That first half of the third round was completely gassed. And Baudot was just jabbing him, landing everything he wanted to, circling. And he starts doing like the hand thing. Like, oh, pick it out. And then he gets taken down and then gets grinded out for the rest of the round and loses. So I think he was just really feeling himself on the feet, So he was
a little too much.
Probably just trying to get back to that. Oh, yeah. I mean, it led to his loss.
Dang.
Hey,
lesson learned.
Lesson learned. But, man, Parker Porter, even though he was clearly exhausted in the first half of that third round, ends up getting that takedown late, or not late, but halfway through and just dominates on the ground after that. I thought it was a great job. Did you hear Felder after this fight?
Mm-mm.
You couldn't hear him? What the hell did he say? He was like, you could hear after they announced the decision and stuff, you can hear someone in the background and he's like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was like, what the hell was that? So I started looking it up and stuff and going on the forums and stuff, and I'm like, what the hell was that? And everyone's like, that was Felder. People were like, was he mad at the decision? And he was pissed. I guess he was arguing with somebody about not being able to go in and interview Parker Porter. So for some reason, they cut the interview.
What?
I don't know if the UFC wasn't impressed in the fight or something or what, but it's hilarious. If you go back and watch it, you can hear Felder yelling at somebody about it.
Wow. No, I didn't hear that, man. Are you
fucking kidding me? It's so funny.
With some of these fights, I think I was already eating Cajun food. Like by the time some of these fights were going. So I was like watching the fights and like eating at the same time. But dude, before that, we had a legend in Jim Miller taking on Nikolas Motta.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is turning the clock back.
Refuses to quit.
Holy crap. And I think he tied Cowboy Cerrone for the most wins in the UFC, right? With 23?
23, yeah. He has the most fights in the UFC at 39 or something crazy like that. He's almost had 40 fights in the UFC.
That's insane, dude.
Dude fought on UFC 100 and 200 and is campaigning already to fight on 300. That's 30 events. We still have 30 events to go, 30 pay-per-views.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. So Motta looked pretty good in the beginning. Miller came in with some heavy calf kicks. Yeah. And he had this thing going where he was throwing like a 3-punch combo, blitzing in on Motta, and Motta would like sit back and hit him with the left hook.
Yeah.
Counter with the left hook. But dude, those leg kicks were just, I think he finished with like 9 inside leg kicks in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And you just saw Motta slow down quite a bit coming out of that second. I mean, how can you not, though? I mean, he probably couldn't move the same way.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he took his base out. Those later leg kicks were like tripping him and like spinning him and shit like that. So like you know it's having an effect, you know.
For sure. And then, so Miller knocks down Motta, finishes the fight, and I was shocked.
Cruz?
But I heard Dom Cruz give Keith Peterson props on the stoppage.
Yeah, I think.
Did I hear that correctly?
I think maybe Peterson got Cruz's respect after he ate a solid right hook earlier in the card. But
yeah.
But dude, like you said, it was they both had a game plan. Jim Miller clearly saw the path to victory through the leg kick. Motta was landing the left hook, and it was who's gonna fade first, right? Because Motta cracked Miller, rocked him good, and Miller had to retreat for. I mean, he went damn near all the way to the fence, and Motta kind of just let him recover, just be patient, right? But that was kind of the game plan. Who's going to fold first? I'm using my leg kick. You're using your left hook. Let's see what happens. And then Miller said, also shout out Paul Felder. I think every time he's in the booth, he needs to be the guy that does the interview in the cage.
Yeah,
every once in a
really
while,
good.
they'll have Bisping do it. I think Bisping has more of like a personality for TV, but Felder asks like such cool questions to the fighters.
I was gonna say, you know, with Bisping, DC, Rogan, you get more of the cookie cutter questions.
How does it feel?
Yeah, and with Felder, I feel like he probably goes off and asks his own questions sometimes. Maybe things that he's wondering that he thinks the fans might want to hear too.
Yeah.
You know, so
because he asked Miller, he was like, with that lunging right hook that you landed to drop him, like, is that something you saw, like watching his tape or like saw during the fight, like that would work? And Miller was like, no, it's just something that I haven't thrown yet. And I mean, that's where you become a veteran, right? Like, goddamn, because he's showing the leg kick every single time. Leg kick, leg kick, leg kick. And he's taking out from under him. So now when he's lunging in, you're expecting leg kick, you're expecting something else. And then he just comes over the top with that lunging right hook. And you could tell Motta tried to react to it and beat him to the punch with the right straight. Right? He lunges in, he tries to throw the right straight. I don't know if it's because he was trying to counter the leg kick or if he just thought my straight punch is gonna beat your hook. But you could tell, I mean, the straight punch should be faster, right? He should have stopped him in his tracks with the straight.
Yep.
But he reacted a little bit too late because it's a whole new look late in the round. It's a look that he didn't give him the entire first round. And goddamn, what a legend, man. That's a veteran move right there. Pull something out that he hasn't seen yet. And
for sure.
Gets the knockout. That's 2 second-round knockouts in a row for Miller.
In a row. God, it's just so impressive, man, for him to still be doing it at this level, you know?
And so respectful. Just so respectful.
Legend.
In his interviews. Yeah, what a class.
Future Hall of Famer. Has to be, right?
They should just put him in the Hall of Fame now.
I mean, why? Look at that guy.
Yeah.
He like
I
if
mean,
I were
man,
to
I've been
picture a
watching Jim
mountain
Miller
man
since
carrying around an axe, fucking, you know, plaid long sleeve shirt on in the snow. It's this guy.
He's out there chopping wood, and Dana comes up in a helicopter, and he's like, "It's UFC 300. We need you back."
Sign me up.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even hop in. He just holds on to the bottom of the helicopter and they just fly off. You know what I mean? That's what I picture Jim Miller doing, dude.
Yeah.
But absolute legend. Props to Jim Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, though, we had, I believe it was Buckley versus Alhassan.
Yeah, man. This was a controversial one.
It was, you know, I personally had Buckley winning.
I had a draw.
You had a draw? You know, that would have been good too. That would have been good too. But, dude, I was very impressed with Buckley's movement.
Dude,
that first couple rounds.
Mm-hmm. He was nowhere. You know? Anytime.
Yeah, he was everywhere.
Yeah, he was nowhere, but yeah, he was everywhere. Like the dust. Right? Like the Detroit urban survival train. But
oh my God.
But I mean, yeah, he looked almost flawless in some moments, right? Where he was landing very good. His head movement looked phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It looked so good. And I was like, man. And it's funny because he's talking about how the later this fight goes, the more it favors him, which was the complete opposite. But
yeah,
it did not look like he was going to gas like he did in the third. But man, he was firing on all cylinders for a while. And it was cool to see.
I hadn't seen movement from Buckley like this before.
No, we talked about flow state earlier, and man, talk about someone in the flow state, just throwing anything he can. They yell jungle, he throws a wheel kick. Like it was cool. It was cool.
That is
Cool to
super
see.
cool. All the
Yeah.
codes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you love that
a lot
shit.
of lateral movement,
Mhm.
which was really good. And both of them being big power punchers. You know, I
Yeah.
think the over under on this was like 1.5.
Mhm.
So I mean, a lot of people were just expecting for somebody to go down.
Well,
You
this was
know,
the
but
culmination of the curse. You know what I mean? Like this was Buckley knocks out Kasangane with the jumping back kick, and then he gets dropped with a high kick from Dikirko. Was it?
I think so.
And then Dikirko fights Alhassan. Alhassan knocks him out with the high kick. So it was back-to-back high kicks, 3 high kicks in a row. You live by the high kick, die by it. And now this was 2 of the same people in that curse fighting each other. And then
So it had to stop. The curse ends here. That's
yeah,
it.
and then
It
it
doesn't
ends with
continue.
decision.
But yeah, that was Alessio de Chirico that
Yeah.
had knocked him out.
Yeah.
That third round, though,
It's
it was so dominant by Alhassan.
I don't know
So
what you
much
have to do to
control
get a 10-8.
time, the ground and pound. You know,
Mhm.
so I mean, is that why you said a draw?
Yeah,
First 2 rounds to Buckley and then 10-8 Alhassan in the
yeah,
last one.
I had the first round
I could see that.
is a coin toss. For me, the first round's a coin toss, but I had Buckley taking it with the takedowns. Second round, I thought was a clear Buckley round, but the third was complete dominance from Alhassan. I thought, I mean, how is the first round scored the same as the third round? It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's why I had it a draw.
Yeah, but
I
I
think
mean,
Buckley
overall,
won. Yeah, I think Buckley won more rounds than Alhassan did.
yeah,
So ultimately, that's what matters the most, I guess.
I think it was a good showing for Buckley. Showed a
Yeah.
different side of his game, and it was a good way to end it for Alhassan. You lost the fight, but you know what? The way that you finished that fight, when you hadn't gone 3 rounds, and I don't know how long,
Yeah.
like you showed people like, hey, I'm still in this, and with high energy more than the person that thought that the cardio was going to be in their favor.
That's the thing, right? Everybody thinks, oh, if this goes to the third, Buckley's got it. And then you come out and win the third. That's got to feel good.
In dominant fashion. So
Yeah.
props to both of them. I'm sure it's not going to be the
But-
end of Alhassan.
No, did you hear Buckley when they were like bowing to each other after the fight?
No. I think I was couple
Too into the
rat toes in, you know.
yeah. He said something like he's like, that's fucking bullshit, like you won this to
What?
Alhassan. Yeah.
No way.
I mean, after that third round, how do you feel like you won? You know, it's got to feel like, damn, I probably just lost. You know?
Yeah, and it's so tough, man, because if it were like an actual fight, you know,
Mhm.
like you hear Diaz tell McGregor, I choked your ass out in the first fight, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
You know, like in
Basically,
an
yeah.
actual fight, if we were
Mhm.
watching this in the street, we'd be like, damn, Hassan just fucking worked Buckley.
Yeah. Weathered the storm early, and then, but that's not how it is.
That's not how it is. That's not how it is. All right. Before that, we had Onama versus Benítez. Dude, now I know this wasn't a very long fight,
But
I
about
was-
5 minutes.
but I was at the edge of my seat the entire
Dude,
time.
Benítez looked good.
His kicks, man,
Yeah.
so
He looked-
fast.
And the jab, like Onama just could not get in on him. Every time he tried to get in, it's like you're either getting jabbed with by a lightning bolt, or you're getting kicked by a fucking
Right to the
tree.
midsection.
Like,
Yeah.
you just couldn't get in.
I mean, look at him.
Look at that.
That's a
And
perfect
Kane-
picture right there of that body kick.
Seeing Kane in the corner was like,
I
Look at him.
know. I know, man. But it was such an exciting fight. Onama was game 2, extremely action-packed. You know, and I give props to Onama on this fight too, because he gets punched right in his right eye. Like right in
Yeah.
his right eye.
that first
he
knuckle
starts-
came in.
Yeah, and he starts like rubbing it, but not once did he turn towards the ref to complain about an eye poke.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times these days you see it where somebody gets
Mhm.
punched in the eye, and their very first reaction, they look at the ref and start putting their hand up like, yo, eye poke. And then they
Yeah.
have to go take a look at the tape, gives them time to recover, and then they're like, fight, you know, after they realize it's a punch.
That happened in the Buckley fight. There was almost an eye poke in the first round, and Buckley like complains about it real quick, and then Herb's like, "Oh, was it an eye poke? I missed it, but I'll take your word for it." And then he was like, "No, it was just close." And it's like, "Oh, okay, fight." It's
Oh
like,
my God. See, and that's the thing. Like, at what point do the refs now stop just taking somebody's word for it. You're there, and if you see it,
Yeah.
then call it. If not, then let it continue going. It's part of the fight game. But anyways,
Yeah.
that what was it, like a 3-punch combo at the end
To
on
finish him?
Benítez against the cage? Oh,
14. It was. I'm not joking.
well,
It was 14 punch
he threw
combos.
14 punches, but how many like really landed at the very end when he dropped them?
Oh, like 7.
Oh God, man,
It
that
was crazy.
brutal.
It was
I think
crazy.
that was the
And
last shot that we're showing right here
yeah, I mean, he killed him. He was out, and
for
it
a
sucked
while,
because
right?
he was out right in front of the door, and they're like trying to like move him to like open the door, and it's like,
Just making sure he
Jesus
didn't
Christ.
roll out of the door once they opened it.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to move a dead body though. Jesus Christ. And
Yeah, and by the time Onama was getting his hand raised, I think that's when Benítez
yeah,
got up, right?
yeah, nasty knockout, man. And Onama, he showed it in his last fight, in his debut. Like, this guy's got good hands, dude. And we literally talked about it in the Daukaus fight. We look for a young fighter like that. How do they deal with adversity? A lot of guys probably shell up after they get cracked in the eye and they can't see out of it. He said even in the post-fight interview, he still couldn't see out of it. If he didn't finish that fight, that round, or if he didn't finish the fight in that round, they might have called it. If they checked,
I mean, he was complaining about it enough, kept on rubbing it, and
I wouldn't be surprised if a doctor would be like, we'll check on that. And then, I mean, if he couldn't see out of it, they would have called it. So
yeah,
the fact
they're
that
like, how many fingers am I holding up? He's like 12.
Yeah, like,
good enough.
I don't know.
It was in Vegas, so they would have been like, he's good.
Probably, yeah. Eyes
All
like
right.
coming out of his head.
Let me see. Okay, so I had a couple heartbreaks, Will, with this card. Okay,
And
my first heartbreaks coming from this fight, Clark versus Egger. So
yeah, I know you're all smitten.
Dude, I'm all smitten for sure. I mean, look at her, dude.
Yeah,
Just look at her. But
just look at her.
goes straight. She throws a couple shots, gets straight into the clinch game.
Mm-hmm.
Egger does a great job nullifying everything that Jessica Rose Clark was trying to do up against the cage.
Yeah,
that
trip.
It was a fantastic trip. And then Egger, when she's sinking in that arm bar, and they called it out too. I think it was Dom Cruz that said the technique on that was perfect. It wasn't all muscle. It was just all step by step.
She followed the chain, right? Because Jessica Rose Clark was doing the right things to defend it, and she just kept. Every time Clark would do something, she would adjust to it, and then she would do another thing to get out, and she'd adjust to that. It was like 4 steps to that armbar that was flawless. It was like the chain reaction, right? You do this, I do this. You do this, I do this, and you can only escape so many times.
Yeah, it was just perfect, man. There's just no getting out of that for Jessica Rose Clark. And I was pretty bummed out because she's had a good showing here last couple fights, but man, Stephanie Egger.
Super legit.
What is she now?
Man. Like, she has like 3 losses or something, right?
Let's take a look here.
She's now 7-2.
She's now 7-2.
Good showing.
Now Jessica Rose Clark, 11-7. UFC, let's keep her in there as long as we can, though, please.
Yeah. I mean, this was big for Egger because this is, probably a lot of eyes on this fight. It's on the prelims, whatever, but a lot of eyes on
this fight.
As
there should be.
Yeah.
As there should be, my friend. Yes.
For more reasons than others. But
yes.
She comes out there like that and gets a first round armbar and a flawless performance, really. She did get taken down once, but it didn't matter, right? Because that what ultimately led to the finish. But this is big for her, I think. She was really, really good.
She did.
And it sucks because Jessica Rose Clark, I know she's Australian, right? But I mean,
watch your P's and Q's, dude. What are you gonna say?
I mean, the fact that she's training in Gilroy at DC's new gym for me is like, that was before I moved here. That was like a couple blocks away, So the fact that she was training there was like, damn, that's fucking cool. She's like in the backyard, So like she ultimately gets lumped into that same group that all the AKA guys, DC, Kane, Khabib, Luke Rockhold's over in Santa Cruz, but he's training over here. Mashev, all these guys, and so she gets lumped into those, especially because DC opens his gym across the street and she's there now. I was like, damn, I'd like to see. It sucks because you can't really call her like the hometown girl because she's Australian, but and she's like still technically fighting out of Australia, but she's doing a lot of her camp in Gilroy. So I was like, damn.
Best looking fighter out of AK?
No.
Luke Rockhold.
Yeah, come on. It's not even close.
The male
The guy
timepiece, dude.
The guy looked ridiculous.
Straight up model for like Ralph Lauren or something like that.
Yeah,
Right?
you walk through Macy's and you see pictures of him.
Hey, good point.
next
Very good
to like
point.
Robert Pattinson and Johnny Depp, there's Luke Rockhold. It's fucking crazy.
Oh man. All right. Well,
Meanwhile, he's getting his
we-
black liquor from all the bars in Santa Cruz.
oh, poor guy. We
Just
have
kidding. Maybe not.
Chaz Skelly versus Mark. Is it Striegl? Striegl.
Great fight.
Before that. Yeah, it was a good fight, man. Good showing for
And Chaz-
Skelly.
How can you not like Chaz Skelly, you know? Like, how can you not root for the guy?
Yeah.
What a cool guy.
Dude, I love the dirty boxing and the clinch work by both men
Mhm.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
I always say that, right? Because clinch work is just part of MMA. My dad might get up and go get a beer when this happens and in the ground game, but I always like to see when they're active in that
Yeah.
position. It's not just trying to gain better position, but let me
Mhm.
see what kind of damage I can
It's a
insert on
means
my
to an
opponent
end.
in the meantime. So, I like how you say that. To means to an end.
Yeah.
Sounds so much more dramatic when you say it. But what a knee in the second round.
Who did you see that coming? I didn't. Chaz
No,
Skelly, I
and-
thought
and
it. No,
neither
Striegl
did
didn't either.
Striegl. Neither
Dude,
did
it
Striegl.
caught him under the chin. That was nasty. I was like, dude, did he jump into that? Like, how the hell did he get that? No,
It was quick.
He just lifted his knee.
And I
How does
mean,
he get
I
it up
think
that high?
Striegl was trying to do a level change at the exact same time, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a perfect storm, man, where
Look at
he's
that.
taking his momentum down. Skelly's like, okay, let me lift my knee and
Yeah.
knock you out with that. So
And
perfectly
is one of
placed.
those-
So
This is one of those fights where you see on like Instagram and it's got like 1 million likes or something, and it's like it's side by side of both of them, just like standing there in the UFC photos. It's like, what if I told you that this guy is gonna beat this guy? And it's like, because Striegl or Skelly's body,
Skelly?
he looks just like he looks efficient. You know,
yeah.
if you watch fighting enough, you see someone like that, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's probably endless cardio, crazy strength, and is just gonna pressure you the whole time. Striegl, I mean, he looks like a fucking action figure, right? He looks like a
I
superhero.
mean, we talked about it with Dennis Bermudez. There's just
Yeah.
certain body types that are made for mixed martial arts.
Yeah, he's just got
Uh,
these like massive shoulders and like this wide frame, no six pack, no crazy chest, just fucking all workhorse efficient, you know?
By the
And
way,
it-
everybody
it-
stay tuned for an interview with Dennis Bermudez soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Coming soon. But it sucks to see. I mean, it's bittersweet because I think Skelly can beat a lot of guys in the UFC. I mean, what's his record right now?
Let's
18 and
take a
3.
look.
Like, come on, man, that's a fantastic record.
Yep.
I mean,
Well,
he's been in the
19 and 3
UFC.
now.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the UFC for now 8 years. He's only got 3
Yeah.
losses. That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is pretty crazy.
And he's talking
All
about
right.
retiring. It's a bummer, man. Because
For
I
the
want to
sake
see
of
more.
time, I think we're just going to cover one more fight, right, from this card.
Yeah, we're gonna skip a couple and leave a couple
This
off.
is where the second heartbreak came in,
Yeah.
where Anheliger versus Strader. Our boy, Jesse Strader.
Yeah,
Story of the fight alum, Jesse Strader.
yeah. What a fight, though.
Yes.
It was
yes,
a
dude,
very
that
good
first
fight.
round, Strader looked pretty damn near perfect. That first round.
Dude, the first round was a flawless performance. The way he mixed up the takedowns, the striking, the body shots.
The body
mean-
shots to do with 4-hit combos to the body.
I know.
Oh man,
And
and
then
they
that
sounded
takedown,
nasty.
Yeah, the takedown, he fucking picks him up, dumps it. Like, it was a takedown. It wasn't like I grinded you out and got you down. It was like,
Slam.
I fucking got you, you know?
Got him. Look, there's one of the body shots, the classic Jesse Strader body shots.
Yeah. Damn.
Now, we knew this was gonna be a tough fight coming in. And Hellinger, I think, was on a nine fight win streak. I think going into this
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
So no slouch. But you know what? Neither is our boy Jesse Strader.
Mm-mm.
He showed up, man. Showed up.
Man, Anheliger, he's new to the UFC, but like you said, 9-fight win streak, 35 years old. Like, he's been fucking doing the thing. Strader's coming out, 5-2, I think, in his pro record, starting this fight. Very young in the game still.
Yeah.
And man,
he
he
was
looked
5-2.
good. That first round, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Like, this is great. This is going very
Streak's
well.
coming to an end.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck you. UFC's promoting you over our boy. They're like posting videos of him on Instagram. Like, fuck this fool. He's about to get his comeuppance. And but I mean, Strader outstruck him in the first round, 26-14.
The more and more we like do fighter interviews, it's so hard not to be biased.
Dude, I can't. I at this point, I can't even. I'm not even
It's
trying
so
anymore.
hard not to be biased, dude. You know what I mean?
You can't.
I know.
You can't.
When I'm doing my fight picks, I'm like, oh, Jesse Strader's underdog, easy money. You know, they just circle Strader.
Hey, Dan Hardy picked him too.
Dude, I love Strader.
So I mean that first round and that first round shows why. Like, dude, that was a very good round. Like the leg kicks were there, the body hooks were there, the takedowns were there, the top game was there. Like it was a flawless round. Second round, outside of getting the short little knockdown, I had Strader winning that round. That knockdown maybe sways it. One of the judges did give it to Strader. So on one judge's scorecard, he already did enough to win the fight. And I thought that third round, up until the knockdown, was clean sweep Strader. And Anheliger looked gassed. He wasn't throwing anything that whole first round. The first 3 minutes of that round, it was just Strader walking him down, throwing. And then Anheliger was just on his bike trying to evade. He wasn't giving him anything. And then, man, with a minute and a half left, gets dropped and gets finished. But, I mean, that's how it goes, you know.
Hey, it's a fight game.
Yeah, hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah, I said it. Okay, no more one-liners. No, but you know, maybe we get Strader back on the podcast and just kind of talk to him about the fight and his thoughts. That'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah, and I really liked ESPN cut away in between rounds, so we didn't get to hear the corner, right? But we know the corner that Strader's coming in with, and Dominic Cruz was super impressed with what they were saying going into the third. They were like, look, because at the end of the second, you could tell Strader looked a little tired, right? The hands were lower, and Anheliger was landing a little bit towards the end of that round and dropped him, right? It was kind of a flash knockdown. It didn't look like he was like out or anything, right? Didn't really look wobbled either. Like he
maybe caught him off balance when he got hit.
Could be, yeah. And like it wasn't like he was rocked. And but the third round comes out, and DC or Dominic Cruz is talking about how, oh yeah, Strader's corner is telling him, like, hey, like pressure him and get on him and grapple him, because the look right now is that you're more tired. So don't show the judges that anymore. Just smother him so that they can't see even if you're not tired, right? They can't see the body language of being tired. So just smother him. And I was like, fuck, that is smart, man. That's a great corner. Really good corner. So, I mean, it's a loss, right? But I don't think it's the end, you know, by any means. I'm very excited for the future here. How
exciting his fight was, man. And again, going up against a beast, I think he did really well, man. Super proud of our boy, Jesse Strader.
Definitely.
All right.
Looking forward to the next one.
We have a moment of silence, Will?
Moment of silence. Obviously, there's a very big moment of silence for this one.
Yeah.
Damn. Makdessi was supposed to fight Hakparas. That didn't happen. Hakparas just fought
Bobby Green.
His name. Bobby Green. But
how
it was
can you not
originally
think of Bobby Green's name? That's your boy.
I know. I'm reading all these names right now. Kyle Daukaus was originally supposed to fight Julian Marquez. As a fight fan, I would have rather seen that. But as a Daukaus fan, I'm glad that Pickett stepped in on short notice and he got, a pretty sensational win here. The biggest one, though, Romanov versus Latifi could have been cool. That got pulled.
Latifi reminds me of the character from Moana.
I've never seen it.
You never seen Moana?
I don't have kids. Why am I going to watch that?
Dude, it's a classic movie, though. You know what? We'll talk about it later.
but the big one was the main event. Rafael dos Anjos versus Rafael Fiziev. The battle of the Rafaels. Winner has to change their name. And that got canceled. But
winner has to change their name.
But it got rescheduled, right? Fiziev had troubles getting his visa in time. UFC for sure do that shit earlier so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen. But at least they rescheduled it because that's a fight that needs to happen. That's a crazy fight. But that's the biggest fight that we lost.
How about bonuses?
This kind of pissed me off because no fight of the night, which
Let's see if we have the same thing that pissed us off.
Okay, so we'll go through them real quick. No fight of the night, only performance bonuses. Johnny Walker versus Jamahal Hill, he gets one. Cool. That knockout probably deserves $50,000.
Yes.
Daukaus gets one. probably deserves that also.
The
right?
Darce.
4 minutes, 59 seconds. Darce choke.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Onama gets one for knocking out Benítez. Yeah, I'd say that deserves it, right? There's 30 seconds left in the round. He's hurt. 14 punch combo, some Dragon Ball Z shit. Very cool. Edgar gets one. I'm okay with that. Armbar it was flawless. She deserves one. I'm not going to say she doesn't deserve
It's a
one.
nice submission.
But to decide that there's no fight of the night, that we're just going to do performance bonuses for finishes, and like anytime that happens, it makes you think like, oh, there wasn't a fight worthy of a fight of the night. When our boy Jesse Strader went to war with Chad, and it was a clear fight of the night, I thought that was the best. I know this bias, but I thought that was the best fight of the night.
I thought the exact same thing. How did he not get a bonus? But on top of that, I said, okay, let's say that they don't give the bonus to our boy and Chad. Maybe Benítez and Onama, both of them, because while that fight was going on,
it was not one-sided.
Nothing but fireworks.
Yeah, it was not one-sided. It was. I mean, it kind of was one-sided until the finish happened on the other side.
Yeah,
right.
But
Benítez
it was a very exciting fight.
Benítez also maybe they thought that was fight of the night, and they were like, instead of just paying Onama $100,000 because Benítez missed weight, maybe we'll just give him a performance bonus.
You know what? Maybe.
But then give the fight of the night to two guys who deserve it. In Strader and Anheliger.
Hey, dude,
I don't know how that.
Edgar's a girl, you don't want to get her a bonus? That's messed up, man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm all trying to turn this on you somehow. Oh man. So that was good. Great card. A lot of fun.
Very good card. Very good card.
Rich, I think there's a couple other pictures, right? For just a couple things that we wanted to call out.
Oh yeah, there was more fights. There was a Bellator fight last night.
There was fight. Honestly, not sure who fought, but our boy Chad Mendes.
How great he fought.
Wanted to give him some props. His Bareknuckle debut.
Yeah.
And I think it was a 4th round KO, right? Or TKO.
Yeah.
So just the clips that I've watched.
Dude, he dropped him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But the head movement was classic Chad Money Mendes, man. Reminds me of a Mike Tyson. The way that he closes the distance. Just short, stocky, and boom, boom, like left, right, and just close up with the right. Wait, what?
What?
Fins and feathers, dude. Fins and feathers.
Yeah.
Man.
No, he looked really good. He looked
fantastic. And then we had another UFC alum.
Look, 2 UFC alum.
Picture.
How are you gonna just disregard Let Me Bang, bro?
Oh yeah,
that's 2 UFC
Julian
alums.
Lane. That is.
Yeah, they went to war.
But dude, Platinum Mike Perry. They finally let them bang, and I mean, just look at this iconic picture. This is Platinum Mike Perry right here.
This should be on every poster of bare knuckle boxing.
This is just fantastic. But props to Platinum Mike Perry, who got the win against Julian Let Me Bang Lane. Yeah. And I'm gonna go back and rewatch these fights.
Yeah,
I think Heather the Feeling.
Yeah,
Hart was in there too, right?
Yeah. Did you see the press conference where Mike Perry pulls a bat out and tries to fucking hit Julian Lane with it?
I mean, come on, man. You gotta love these guys. It's classic. It's classic Platinum Mike Perry. I'd rather do that at a press conference where somebody's gonna stop him, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because if it came out that he did that at like a bar, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, at least like right now, it's like funny.
Yeah,
he did at the press conference and.
Yeah, and I know it's like the whole bare knuckle boxing, especially the way they do the drama, is very like WWE, but like also trashier somehow. And but then at the end of the day, they go out and fucking bang, dude. The fights are not bad; they're good fights.
There was a post by who was it? I don't remember now, but it had a picture of a couple of women too, and they both looked busted.
Yeah.
And the caption just said, "Hey, couple of warriors," and I was like, "Dude, I got to go back and watch these fights."
Yeah, and dude, I will always.
Do you still have my login?
Always. I don't. I if you could text me that. I mean, we don't share. We both pay $5 for it, but.
Yeah. That's right. But with the same login.
Someone might jump in with a fucking bottle and try to fucking get $5 from us, but. I will stand by that Johnny Bedford versus Dat Win fight was incredible. That was a fantastic fight.
Brutal Johnny Bedford. That's who it was that sent
Yeah.
out that message about the women. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, his fight against Dat Win was it bums me out that Dat's not in bare knuckle anymore because dude, that fight was incredible. It was so good. And people I feel like don't want to watch it because it's like the connotation of bare knuckle,
so
it's
brutal.
trashy, it's I don't want to see people without the gloves, all this stuff. The cuts are so bad. And people are like, "Oh, there's girls fighting and they're getting cuts." Who gives a fuck? They're people, you know? If they want to bang, let them bang, dude. And like,
Let him bang, bro.
Anybody who watches that Bedford Dat Win fight, you cannot watch that fight and say this isn't for
It's
me.
high level.
If you like combat sports, it's a fantastic fight.
It's high level. Hey, props
And
to
it's
Brutal
different.
Johnny Bedford too, man. Props to him.
Yeah, that dude's a dog. Has been for a long time.
Another freaking warrior. You know, we should try to get him on the podcast.
That'd be awesome. He's a Texas guy, right?
Yeah, dude, he's right around the corner
Yeah.
over here. I'll go
Yeah.
knock on his gym right now and be like, hey, dude.
Yeah. Hey,
Wanna
my
hop on
kids
the
used to
pod?
train here for a second. Remember?
Yeah. They had a coffee in here.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else?
No, other than next on February 26th, we got our boy
Ooh.
getting a main event spot on short notice against a guy nobody wants to fight in Islam Makhachev. Bobby Green stepping up. Real recognized real. Very interesting matchup. I think a more interesting matchup than Dariush versus Makhachev.
Ooh.
I
Dude,
think
watch Bobby Green just come in and knock Makhachev out.
Dude, it's going to be tough for Makhachev to close the distance.
The MMA world would go nuts.
Yeah, and like we've seen crazier things happen.
I mean, this is we have Stricklanov versus
Versus
Turman.
Wellington Turman. Fun fight. Cachoeira's
Yeah.
fighting? Come on.
Saryukian.
Saryukin versus
card?
Joel Alvarez. Dude, that fight is the battle for the
Ignacio
future.
Bahamondes, bro.
I know. I know.
This fight has
Against-
excitement
against-
written all over it.
Against Rongzhu, that's a great fight too. Terrence
Is that how you
McKinney's
pronounce
on the
it?
card.
Rongzhu?
Yeah.
McKinney.
Terrence McKinney, I can't wait to see him
Where's
fight
he on?
again.
I mean, this is
Jinyu-
another.
Dude, Jinyu Frey versus Hannah Goldie. Battle of like the most jacked on the roster. Come
Isn't
on.
it Jinyu Fry?
Probably.
The way you say probably.
Alejandro Perez versus Jonathan Martinez. Great fight if Martinez makes weight.
Ooh, let's see if he makes weight. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
dude,
all
very,
like an
very
event
good
in
card.
its own. Yeah.
I know.
All right.
Really good fight. That's
Well,
Saryukin versus Alvarez fight is going to be insane.
Should be a lot of
for
fun.
sure.
And like I'm saying, Bahamondes.
Mhm.
Anytime
he's
he
must watch.
fights, dude, I'm super excited to watch him.
He's must watch. And Alvarez, obviously similar to Martinez, is he going to make weight? Has he ever made weight for 155? I don't know.
I don't know, but hey, big thanks to anybody that tuned in. Greatly appreciate it. Again, if you even remotely like our content, please like, subscribe. We're trying to reach 300 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, we
Help
just
us
passed
out.
260.
Just past 260, so help us out here. But maybe not on YouTube. Maybe you don't like watching us on YouTube. You see our faces, you're like, I don't want to see these guys, but I want to listen to them. Spotify, Breaker, Podcast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere podcasts are found. And maybe we could chat it up on social medias.
Yeah, at Story of the Fight on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook group chat, Story of the Fight chat.
Find Will and I doing TikTok dances while we talk about fights.
Yeah. a sight to behold.
Yeah, exactly.
But, otherwise, just comment on YouTube because like we definitely enjoy the conversations.
For sure. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening to us chat it up about UFC Vegas 48 and another week of Story of the Fight. Dude, we didn't have Richard Casual hop on it all today. We should have.